locked in. Welcome back to the pod, everybody. It's the You're an Idiot podcast. I'm Alex Dragovich. I got a fucking hilarious pretty boy guest host today with us, Erik Scott.
Oh, thank you.
I call you Pretty Ricky, Ricky Trash.
Formerly now Ricky Haircut is what they've been going by.
Oh my God. He got another haircut, folks. He looks good. You do mess with your style a little bit.
Yeah, well, I say the same thing to the barber every time, and then I get a different haircut. So it's kind of just a game for me at this point.
Yeah, no, it looks fucking good, dude. You are a hot guy with a lot of followers.
Yeah, I guess so.
What are the DMs like?
Not as much anymore. There was a period when it was first popping. I was getting a bunch, but then I got a girlfriend, and we started who I'm no longer with. That girlfriend, but we were making a lot of stuff together, so it was pretty clear we were dating. So the DMs kind of cooled off.
Yeah, they kind of went down.
Yeah,
which by the way, I did write that down. I referred to your breakup as every comedian's nightmare. So we'll get to that in about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
But I actually did. This actually reminds me, dude. I have this like written down somewhere. But do you know like what are some of the? I don't think people know about this. Like women DM too.
Oh yeah,
women slide.
Yeah.
And they're not always pretty.
No.
Wait a minute. Well, the women. Okay.
The women
slide, and
all women are pretty.
All women are pretty. Women slide, and the DMs can be juicy.
Yeah, but then also sometimes I've noticed with really really hot girls.
Yeah.
They'll just say like hi. Sometimes,
yeah.
and it's like, all right, you got bring a little pizzazz.
Yeah, it's some of like
unless they're really hot, then it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, some of the Midwest heifers they'll send in a spicy text.
Yeah,
some women send spicy DMs, and we don't. I'm sorry for calling them heifers. That was a little bit much.
Yeah.
But the spicy DMs happens.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten nudes sent to you?
I have.
That's cool.
This is This is what I wanted the podcast to be, by the way. Folks.
Yeah, you're not getting that with Aspen.
No. So I actually have this written down, dude. I wrote down some of my favorite DMs from the last year and a half. Can I read them to you?
Yeah, please.
This is kind of wild. Okay. All right, so this is for the listeners. I should have done this a while ago. Okay. Great set tonight. Want to see my boobs?
Whew.
Solid start.
Yeah.
Can I climb you like a tree? It's kind of hack.
Yeah. Heard it.
I can tell by watching you've never been with a black woman. I guess that's
that's fair.
That's a fair assessment. Okay. Kind of mean, but
yeah. Is that an offer or is that just a declarative statement?
Yeah. You know what they say, what happens in Cleveland stays in Cleveland. I don't know if that's
I don't think it.
This one was just it's Taco Tuesday smiley face.
Did you have a joke about Taco Tuesday?
The show was on a Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So yeah, that's just kind of like where I'm at.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, those are great.
I don't know if I got any of that like explicit. Can I show? Do you want to see my boobs one? That's really good.
Oh, last one. Are you single? I'm not, but what's up?
That's cool. Is that on the road?
Yeah.
That's not happening in New York.
The road. That's what'll happen. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people are more prevalent to cheat with the Rolling Stone comedian that comes through that breezes to town and is gonna and is for sure leaving.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's a dude.
I never really pieced that together properly. I always was under the impression I was like, well, like why would they like want to hook up with a guy that they don't really know? Isn't that like women's whole thing that they want to like fall in love a little bit? That ain't true.
Yeah, but they probably did feel like they know you a little bit more because of your act.
Yeah.
So they you knocked out like 3 hours of being charming at a bar in like a 20-minute set.
Oh.
I used to bring girls to first dates sometimes, 2 shows in Chicago. Because I'm like, I can do all the tricks I'm going to do for the first few hours of a date in like an 8-minute spot at the Laugh Factory.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's actually, I was always nervous. Like, what if it bombed? Like, what if I didn't do well?
Well, I'm just like, I know at this point, I'm like, I'm not going to completely die. If it's like 8 minutes, you know, that's the spots we were getting. It's like, I can do 8 minutes.
And it does look good that you kind of like know your way around. You know the bar staff, you know the waiters, you know the other comics. Obviously,
yeah,
you kind of look like you own the place a little bit.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, he's like kind of a guy. He's kind of a
here. You can go sit over here. I'm gonna brush up a little bit before I go on.
The Laugh Factory was a good look.
Yeah, those were good.
I remember one comic was like, he was like 30 at the time when we were like 22, 23. And he's like, yeah, I'm 30, but like all the girls that like go to Laugh Factory are like 20, 22. So that's just who I hook up with. And I was like, that doesn't have to be the case.
Yeah.
You can just like, you can hook up with women your age.
And then fast forward to us being in our 30s and we're like, the guy was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, no, the guy was that guy was smart and wise. And
well, do you feel this? Like I used to think maybe when I was younger, like, and I'd see girls my age going out with guys in their 30s or even older, and I'd be like, what are they doing? And now I'm that age, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, I can like speak how I feel. And, like, I'm not a complete moron.
100%. Yeah. And actually, I just realized this too. Now, like while we're on the topic, is like when I first started doing the road, like hosting, featuring, I was like, man, like women are not really coming up to me after my sets like I hear on the podcast, you know? And I was like, why doesn't that happen? Like I don't really get pull like that. I can't really pull like that. And then now, like closing out more stuff or like, you know, opening up for bigger people now. And now that I've been doing it longer, I realized like I just wasn't very good.
Yeah, I
like wasn't a good comedian.
Right.
I wasn't getting DMs for women. I wasn't getting approached by women because I sucked.
Dude.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah. It's just having a command, like a comfortability on stage, I feel like it's important to.
Yeah. Just being 3 years in and like, you know, featuring at like the Comedy Zone in Milwaukee and being like, why aren't women throwing themselves at me like Mark Norman?
I feel like I was more confident then. It's like you're more confident when you're stupid and you don't know don't know how like bad you are. Where it's like now I'm way better, but I'm just like more not self-conscious, but like will think about my stuff more than I did then.
I'll get a DM from a girl and she'll be like, loved your show tonight. And I'll be like, which show were you at? Because that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
If you saw the bad one, I can't see.
Dude, I was going out with this girl and we'd gone out on like 5 or 6 dates maybe. And like I was into her. I don't know if I really saw it going that long term.
Yeah.
But she was really cool. And then I took her to a show and it was a Tiny Cupboard and it was like a light night.
Yeah.
And I did fine. Very fine. And like, no, it wasn't my best. Then we hooked up that night and then like a week went by and she broke up with me or she ended things. We weren't like, but my own thought was like, man, I hope it was my poor sex that was the deal breaker. I hope it wasn't my act.
100%.
I would much rather than be like, no, yeah, your dick's trash than your act sucks.
The dick is like 8th on the list.
Yeah, who cares,
dude?
You can learn to love my dick.
100%. Yeah. We can figure that out. That's like through communication.
Yeah, for sure.
The act is just that's really the whole sauce.
She's like, wait, those are your tags. You need to work on your timing.
But yeah, you were always like you were pretty Ricky. You were the guy. You were always the hot one in our crew. No questions asked.
That's why whenever I'd hear like female comedians talking about these guys just talk about my looks, and I'm like, it's awesome. Why are you complaining? This rules. Everyone's so nice.
What was that one joke you used to do? I actually just saw this on your Instagram. I think it's a little bit older, but I think it's a great joke about like white people should be doing more. Or what's that joke again?
Oh, you're a straight white guy. It's your responsibility to make sure other straight white guys get better. And it's like, sure, but people don't like it when we have meetings. Like I organized one. It made the news.
That is such a clean cut, awesome joke.
I'm like, I'd love to get the fellas together, but
yeah. So it looks bad.
It does look bad.
It looks bad. But yeah. You have to do. I guess me in the sense too, as like a bro or you're a white guy. We gotta do a little bit more.
Yeah.
I should have voted last year.
There is didn't vote.
I know, dude. Everyone gets on me about that.
If Jeff was here to hear you say that, it would have changed his life.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We're not gonna get too much into the past here, but yeah, I used to just kind of be in my heels about. It didn't matter. But
I mean, I think I just voted so I could get Bushwick pussy.
There we go.
Yeah, dude.
Yep, and the pod's back.
I was saying
folks.
I was
We're
gonna
so back.
I was gonna start selling bootleg I voted stickers so libertarians could bang bisexual girls around in November.
Oh my god, a service that the white men needed.
We need it.
Here's something I figured out recently that I wanna get to. A lot of this show is based on how dumb I am.
Right. Yes.
Dumb guy.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out. I can concisely say. I think here's what I figured out. I figured out why I'm dumb. No. Let me put it this way. I can explain how dumb I am.
Okay.
Here's what it is. Okay. Here's why I'm dumb. Okay. Common phrases fuck me up.
Okay.
Like common phrases, I never understand them. Okay. Like the phrase in a vacuum.
Okay.
What is that?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Who's vacuum?
Right. Yeah.
Dyson?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
In the Dyson.
Like how do they, Connor? How do people say in a vacuum in a sentence? Like how will somebody say that? Well, they'll be like, well, in a vacuum, of course not. Whose vacuum?
Without.
Where's the vacuum?
Yeah. I think it would mean without other influences, right? Like a vacuum being. Isn't like a vacuum also a thing that has nothing in it? Like absolutely nothing? Yeah.
Without influences.
What I said. Without
isolated. So a vacuum is just.
Yeah. There's the
It's
vacuum.
not plugged in. But like, so it means outside influences.
Yeah. Well, because there's a vacuum like the vacuum cleaner. Then there's also like a vacuum that has like no matter in it or like no particles, right?
Sure.
For like science and shit.
Okay.
It's hard to explain stuff without also like, cause I'm like, I only know that. I don't know. I don't know how to get one more.
Like I wouldn't even know how to put it in a fucking sentence. He couldn't just live in a vacuum, ignoring the needs of his community. Lost me. Like totally lost me.
Yeah. It just completely alone, completely without any other.
I could live in a vacuum.
Yeah, there we go.
I think.
Get this man in a vacuum.
Put my ass in a vacuum. Or straw man. That's a straw man argument.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Scarecrow?
Is that like a three?
You've never heard that?
Three Little Pigs? No.
Straw
Logical
man.
fallacy. That's one of them.
Informal fallacy, refuting an argument different from the one actually under discussion. Oh, like you're just kind of taking one. I feel like my listeners right now are furious.
Attacking a straw man.
They must be. Straw man?
Can't stand on its own. That argument cannot stand on its own.
Oh,
okay. 'Cause
Connor, you gotta be on Wikipedia, dude. Oh, the argument can't stand on its own.
It's made out of straw, so it will be blown over.
Okay, I think I'm like 20% there.
Okay.
Penny for your thoughts. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, please go fuck yourself.
I don't.
What the?
I understand.
Just
like,
say your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, keep your penny. This is what I'll do. I'll go. Yo, I don't need it. I'm doing all right. I don't need your damn.
What's that mean?
I don't
Penny
need your
for
charity.
Your thoughts. What's on your mind? Tell me, what are you thinking? What?
Is that just? It probably started when like a penny was like a lot of money, and it was be like, I want to know what you're thinking so bad, I'd give you a penny.
That might be it. I just feel like
that's
British.
some depression era. Yeah,
it's got to be British.
Well, the one I do is I look at my girlfriend and I go, penis for your thoughts.
Oh, Ricky Trash is back.
She
folks.
doesn't like me very much.
Penis for your thoughts.
Penis for your thoughts.
Suck me off and then tell me what you thought.
You
Penny
give it a
for your
shot.
thoughts, 16th century. Okay.
I actually
tell me what you're thinking.
I do like these, like where these idioms come from.
Yeah.
My English teacher in high school, Mrs. Will, she was big into British literature and like Shakespeare and all that. Like a lot of this stuff came from so like Raining Cats and Dogs, you know that one?
Yes.
You know where that came from?
Of course not.
Yeah, in those times, the cats and dogs would sleep in the hayloft of a barn, and sometimes it would rain so hard that they would fall through. So it was raining so hard, it was raining cats and dogs. That's
wow.
Yeah.
That's good history right there.
That's a fun one.
That's the history that I can get behind, dude. That's kind of dope.
Yeah.
Raining cats and dogs.
Beat a dead horse. Why were you beating the horse to begin with?
Yeah. Yeah, Connor, can you look that up? What's the beat a dead horse origin story? I could do this shit all
Yeah.
fucking day.
You can lead a horse to penis, but you can't make it suck. That's what I always say.
The phrase "beat a dead horse" originates from the mid 19th century, where it was a metaphorical way to express a pointless effort or persistence in something that has already been decided or is clearly futile. But what's it from?
Oh, I guess when you're riding it,
Evolved from flogging horses.
yeah, some leather
Which make
daddy
them
horses,
move faster. However,
some S&M horses, fucking freaks.
especially one that has already died. Okay, I guess yeah. I guess you can't beat a dead horse is what they're. If you want to make it go faster, but it's tired or dying or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. You can't beat a dead horse. I get it. I mean, I get like that. Beat a dead horse.
That one makes
Makes
more
sense. Penny for your thoughts.
clear.
Makes me want to die.
Yeah.
It truly makes me want to die. Straw man. I get straw man now. I can't wait to start saying that more.
Hey, strong
Like that's
man.
really gonna be in my fucking
Mhm.
lexicon. I'm gonna start fucking
Wow.
destroying people, even when they're right. It's kind of a straw man.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with that's the nice thing about cool phrases and big words. If you use them right and with enough force, people back into a wall.
Well,
They
because
go,
you also don't want to go, what does that mean?
right.
Because then you're like, well, look at you.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Next time someone says, "Oh, it's a straw man," that's kind of a straw man argument, and they go, "Oh shit, he knows what he's talking about."
Or they'll think that you just like hung out with some cool black teens and you like got a new lingo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's some mid.
yeah. Just
That's mid fired.
yeah, some very cool young black kids saying that's kind of a straw man argument, my friend.
It's just new lingo just dropped.
Okay, in a vacuum, still. Can you go back to in a vacuum, please? What would be if you were to gun to your head, say the best way to use an example of in a vacuum? Connor, can you do this or no?
Let me think. Give me 1 second. In a vacuum, his argument makes sense, but given the circumstances, I don't understand.
Gotcha.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go, Connor. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
Too. That's why you
feel
we
like
pay you.
that's like most like theory of like sociological stuff where it's like, yes, in theory that all makes sense, but you're not considering like emotion or any other influences on stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. I love it.
You know-
I've learned. Life is about learning, and that's why this pod is great. I want to, and we'll get back to you now, Eric, Ricky Trash. Let's finally get into it. I wanted to talk about it. You used to talk about it to me a lot, like you and your ex is a comedian.
Yes.
You're big. This is a major relationship for you.
Yeah, it's good. It was a big one. It's good.
Year and change too.
Yeah, probably close to 2.
2 years. People always say like dating comics is tough, especially it can blow up if that happens. But it seemed like you guys navigated it pretty well. Can you give a little how-to guide on how to date a comic and have it go pretty well?
Yeah, this feels like on Call Her Daddy, like Eric tells all. No, yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen it go poorly, and I think we were both conscious of that. Well, it's funny when we went on our first date, she even said that she had like sworn off comics.
Yeah,
which I think a lot of women comedians just have that rule.
Yeah,
but then probably knowing that they can break that rule.
Oh,
Because you have to set the rule because every guy is asking you out. You can't just be like, I'm open for business. Then you're getting everybody at the open mic.
Sure.
You know, so you go, I don't date comics. And then if one, you're like, well, okay, I'll date you. Like,
of course. Yeah.
But yeah, no, and it was ended amicably. And we kind of talked about it at some point too, to be like, yo, if this ends, we never felt like it would be a thing. Like somebody would do something so bad to the other that would make people have to like choose sides.
Yes.
Like we kind of knew that to be
right.
Like I'm like, I just don't see you like wronging me in a way that like I think we rubbed each other the wrong way at times and like weren't a great fit, obviously.
Right.
But like we didn't like destroy each other's lives. They're like hurt one another in that way.
And what was the first kind of time seeing her back out in the wild in terms of like at a show or whatever, or just maybe at even like a birthday party?
Yeah. I think I may have seen her at a show, but then I went to like one of her friends, our friends, but definitely more her friends, like birthdays.
Yeah.
Swung by. And it's like never been Never been weird.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
A better man than me, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ex would not want to see me at the function. Okay.
Right.
You give me a couple jungle juices, a couple Red Bull vodkas.
Mhm.
You know, that's what I'm drinking.
Well, there just was there was like nice to be like, oh, I don't have to, when you show up to a party single, I'm like, I don't have to, I can stay as long as I want or as little as I want.
Sure.
I have you know, if you get tired or if I just don't want to be here, it doesn't matter. I can just go.
Right.
So I did have that moment where I'm like, oh, you're like drinking and having fun. And I can just leave
Yeah.
because we're not leaving together.
She was kind of a night owl then in that sense.
No, she was like a lot of times pretty sleepy.
Ooh.
But yeah, but it's just one of those like, whatever. When like we don't overlap all that much, but we're not like weird.
Did any of the mutual friends have to? Were any of the mutual friends in a tough spot?
I don't think so. I mean, I like lived with Zach Senior,
Yeah.
who was like her best friend, who then now lives with her.
Yeah.
Which was actually kind of a point of contention. Not that it was living with her, it's just that he like didn't tell me he was moving out until like 2 days before, and I was really pissed about that. We're
bad,
good.
Bad guy move.
Him and I we're good now.
Yeah.
And like
I would have been irate.
it was more just
Yeah.
like, oh, now I just have like it wasn't like gonna screw me money wise or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It was more just like, oh, now we have like a subletter who I don't know like in the apartment, and like
Yeah, and you're not even convinced.
and like he's like a buddy. It's like I just like, oh, I miss hanging out with my buddy. But
I agree.
Yeah,
And that
big-
actually is something now that I'm going to table some of my other
please.
questions here. Zach, a gay man,
yes.
widely known,
Mm-hmm.
a hot gay guy, I'll call him that.
Oh yeah, hunk of hunks.
Good meat.
Yeah.
Good meat is what we call him on the pod.
The house always smelled like beef tallow. The
That's-
guy was on the
Yeah, that's grade A stuff.
the RFK diet all the time.
What's it like living with a gay man?
It is. You're pretty sore. No, it was cool. Well, I actually this is the first time in New York I with my current roommate that I haven't lived with a gay guy. There's been gay guys in my apartment since I moved here,
Really?
just by chance. Yeah.
What's the big diff? What are they doing?
Well, see,
What are those,
what
those
I-
creatures up
I
to?
think, and this might be homophobic, but I thought they'd be cleaner.
Oh.
I'm like,
you
hey.
hear that, G's? That's my shortening for gays.
Yeah,
You hear that, boys?
I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to be the clean ones? But then it's like, oh, that actually makes you. Growing up, I always thought when it was a homophobic time we grew up in,
sure,
and they would always think like gay guys are like less man. That's what they were feminine or whatever. I'm like,
Right.
live with these guys. Those are dudes.
They are dudes.
those
Yeah,
are
that's a
fellas.
great joke. Yeah, that's
And
good.
and my theory is that they didn't have to clean up in the same way because they weren't bringing women home.
Oh.
Like that's the only reason I like really scrub my place is because a girl might come over.
And brother, I'll tell you something, because like I don't know, we both like dated a
Mhm.
decent amount here in our lives. Do you feel? I'm always a little shocked, maybe perturbed. Connor, what does perturbed mean?
Let me look that up for you.
I think it's agitated.
Something like that. Yeah.
Always perturbed me. I'm gonna stay with this.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I used it.
I think
I
perturbed's
used it
right.
properly, but it always perturbed me a little bit when feeling anxiety or concerned, unsettled.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, definitely unsettled me.
Could you,
go-
just be turbed?
Oh, dude, it turbed me up.
Yeah.
When I would go to a girl's place and her room was messy,
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, wait a sec,
Right.
what's going on here?
Yeah, what am I gonna do?
Is that sexist to say like maybe it's like maybe I'm just like used to a certain thing, but you're always like, this has got to be a red flag.
Right.
You're a girl.
Yeah. Clutter is one thing because clutter can be put away. I get clutter, but if it's like dirty,
Oh.
no good.
Oh, like when like when like the bathroom sink is like sticky or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like,
when it
what
looks
the
like
fuck?
a 22-year-old dude's apartment, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'll sleep with you, but I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it's like the laundry. They're like, hey, we have to like my laundry's on the bed right now. We have to like move it.
Mhm.
And you're like, in the moment, you're a little drunk. You're like, yeah, this is fun.
Whatever.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like on the walk home, you're like, just a little.
Well, dude. Yeah,
I'm also very clean though.
right.
That's the thing, bro. Let's put that out there, folks. I want to level the playing field there. I'm
Is
very clean.
your current roommate
Dan Carney.
Yeah, Dan Carney. Okay. Is he pretty clean guy?
Dan's also decently clean. His
That's good.
room is not clean.
Yeah.
His room is the furthest thing from
Your
clean.
your it's like when it's your space, whatever.
Sure.
But I've had problems with other roommates of where I'm like, trying to convince them to clean.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, if they're not doing their dishes, then I'm just going to put my dish. It makes me worse because I'm like, well, what? I'm going to do all the dishes all the time.
Yeah, convincing your gay roommate to clean up. You just come out with like just a towel on. You're like, hey, this is Zach.
Would
you? Would you mind? You're right out of the shower.
I'll hop in the sink too if you scrub me up. But I was literally like towards the end of, I was like Googling like how to convince men in their 30s to clean, because I'd try to make it a game and be like, wouldn't it be like cool if we all like, what if on Sundays we like all got together and clean?
Yeah.
And then
oh,
dude,
no, dude, it's absolutely brutal. I do appreciate like it, and if the dishes are not done, Dan, because like Dan's always, he's the one that cooks a little bit. I'm always eating out. It's probably my biggest vice. But like he'll be like, hey, I'm sorry for like I didn't do the dishes like in a couple of days. I'll get to him. So it's like that's pretty much it. He's a clean dude overall. But yeah, I don't really have any. I mean, I lived in like Chicago. Like those were just like, we had a couple guys who were just not like, who would cook a lot, and just it was never my thing.
Dude, when me and John Norman and John Gasper lived together in that Wrigleyville house, the place would become destroyed. But then on like Fridays, we'd all get back from work or whatever, and then we'd be sitting around, and then someone would drop a bag of Coke on the table. And then we'd all just start doing it and start cleaning. It was awesome. It was a great time.
Oh.
It was really fun.
The Coke and clean?
Yeah. We'll hit that Coke on Fridays.
On Friday, what? Just Friday? Like
kind of like Friday at like 5 p.m.
Like that's kind of the pregame?
Yeah.
So you rail lines.
Well, John Norman would walk in, and I swear to God, before the door was shut, you could hear a PBR tall boy opening. Like, he'd walk through the door and be cracking a beer.
So you're doing blow and then getting the dawn?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
And getting the gloves
just
and
scrubbing down, taking the trash out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
That's actually, I think that's pretty useful. I think men can learn from this.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Like if you're dirty,
just do drugs.
yeah. Just like get some blow.
Yeah.
And then that'll get figured out.
Yeah, some of the other drugs probably aren't, like heroin's probably not the cleaning drug.
No.
You know.
But
just
if you're
your uppers.
If you're on Coke, you're like, and it's 5 p.m., you need something to do.
Yeah, the sun's still out.
Let's fucking
I'll scrub these walls down.
That's great teamwork. How many roommates was that?
There's 3 of us.
Yeah. Listen, guys, if you got some roommates and the place is a mess, that's a good way to. That's also a good way to bribe your roommates. Be like, oh, hey, if you want to clean, I have a bag of blow. Yeah,
dude.
I have a bag of blow we can do.
Yeah, it's
a
great motivator.
You can one line per room.
There we go.
I like that.
Fridays, do it on Fridays.
Hey,
it's the weekend,
for all the youngins listening, you're 25
to test it first.
Oh, of course.
This was the 90s. This is a Studio 54.
Dude,
me and Nathan Lane were cleaning the kitchen.
I mean, that is so unbelievably degenerate of you, but that's one of my favorite stories in pod history, actually. Yeah, dude. That's fucking awesome.
It was that time in our lives was very fun.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like you just beat the shit out of a guy randomly in Wrigleyville, like some guy like honked his car at you.
No,
and
I was
out and just beat the crap out of this dude.
I was it was me and Matt Kennedy and Tyler Horvath who were driving midday to Milwaukee for like Cream City Comedy Festival.
Yeah,
and this drunk ass Cubs fan wobbles into the street, and like he's in front of cars and cars are honking at him, and then they'd get around him. And then he just stands in front of my car. So I kind of start like eventually just inching forward and kind of bump him a little.
Yeah.
And he looks and he crawls on top of my car and he like ripped the windshield wiper off. So I'm like, okay. And I just got out of the car and like threw him down. But he was so drunk that like I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Because you hear stuff like you fight those guys and they die.
Yes.
You know? And then
you got better hands than people think.
Yeah, dude. And it felt like that scene in Spider-Man, the original one, where the guy swings at him and he just like watches it.
Right.
Like he was so drunk that he just and then eventually he like scampered off, but then the cops caught him at the Whole Foods down the way.
I remember all the guys like they all like came to like an open mic and they're like, Erik Scott like beat the shit out of this guy, dude. It was awesome,
dude.
Yeah, no, those are some degenerate days.
Yeah,
no questions about that. I do want to ask, just to touch back on the breakup one more time.
Yeah, please.
Jokes about each other. How does that go down?
I don't know about if she has any. She might.
Do you like, do you say, hey, like I got this thing, or I
No,
got this
not
thing
really. I
better?
mean, any of the I might have had some more specific, like shortly after,
Yeah.
but if I do anything about breakups or previous relation, it's all like about the idea of like going through a breakup, rather than like about a breakup with this specific person.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not because I was trying to avoid like coming off bitter, because I wasn't really, but like,
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
you just don't. I don't want to come off like that on stage anyway.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
when you start writing like breakup jokes right after the breakup,
Mhm.
I've done it where you say it and the audience is just like, "Oh man,
Yeah,
like, dude, like that's just true, and your life
Dude.
sucks now," or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like it's when you're writing stuff that's just so true and just like kind of a little too on the nose.
yeah. And they're like, "Do you hate women?"
yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
Yes, but that's like not important.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're like, it's quite alarming to just watch people go, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
No, okay, so that's good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
as long as you haven't really heard anything.
Yeah, and I mean, she might, but I don't know if she never really didn't have all that many like relationship jokes anyway as we were dating.
Yeah.
Which I had more, but it was, I don't know, just
Okay, that's
less.
good.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't think anything came
if
up.
something, I guess like if you really didn't like the joke or a joke, would you say something to her?
Maybe. Maybe
Should we
probably,
call her?
Call
Get her on the
get her on the
Connor.
horn.
I gave you her number earlier. Actually,
her-
she's around the corner.
get her on the horn.
Hey, babe.
The,
Welcome.
It was less. There was one. I don't think I'm talking out of school here. It wasn't like a joke.
Yeah.
But this was shortly after we'd broken up, and like I said, it was like amicable, and like after, it was just like, oh yeah, of course, it like needed to happen. But she wanted me to be in a sketch that she wrote, and it just was like, what was it? It was like the bit idea was like how to get your boyfriend to go to therapy.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And I'm like, premise funny, but like the way it was, like I read the sketch and I'm just like, this just really, like the fact that like I'm in it and you did it, it's like it's like gonna really feel like it's all like everything's my fault for not doing enough therapy.
Oh my.
And I'm
God.
like, and I don't even know if that's what she was like intending, but I'm like, that's
Right.
how it came off.
Sure.
So I'm like, I just don't think I want to be a part. I'm like, do this sketch for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
and the premise itself is funny, but I'm like, I just think I would take it too personally being in it as me. Like,
yeah, it looks like
but-
you're kind of dunking on yourself there, right?
Right. And I'm like, I could write a rebuttal.
Right,
Like,
right.
But
yeah. There's no part of that sketch is like what you're thinking.
Right,
None
yeah.
of your thoughts are there.
and but I told, I'm like, do it. I'm like, please do, if you want to do this sketch, please. Like, I'm not offended by any. I'm like, I just think I would be upset being in it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, but that was like right towards the tail end, right?
towards the begin, like maybe like a few months after we ended things.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, like it was never like bad, like horrible. Like we never like hated each other by any means.
I remember I got dumped and like obviously would take her to shows. So I would take her to like the sick, like, these like, 9 p.m. Laugh Factory
Mhm.
shows, 8 o'clock Lincoln Lodge shows, like these heaters on
Yeah.
the weekends. So her and her friends would come and just like have a fucking blast. I would get, I would comp the drinks.
Mhm.
Like I would like, Joe would hook it up at the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And so she and her friends would come like all the time. And then she dumps my ass. And then 5 days later, that Friday, I get a text like, "Hey, I'm really sorry, but I have like a couple of college friends in town. I just want to know if you're going to be at the Lincoln Lodge tonight because I was going to take them. And if you are, it's not a big deal. Like we'll do something else. But I was booked at the Laugh Factory, so I was just
Nice.
like, obviously, I was just like a knife went through my fucking chest.
Sure.
I'm just like, yeah, I'm at the Laugh Factory.
Dude.
You can go to Lincoln Lodge. Take care.
that would be tough too, like walking out on stage and like, especially in a situation where you're like upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think I've said this before on the pod. I don't think I've said this before, but like so like this was like my last or second. Yeah. This is like probably my biggest like Chicago relationship.
Yeah.
When after she broke up with me like 3 months later, oh my God, I don't think I've ever said this. I feel I'm like shook right now. I was shook when when this happened. Oh God, I look like such a bitch, dude. But it was so this girl breaks up with me, right?
Sure.
3 months later, again, I would bring her friends. Her friends loved it. Her roommate starts seeing a new guy and I had no idea. Her roommate comes to a Saturday show at the Lincoln Lodge, probably like 3 months after I get dumped, and I was like. She comes up to me and she's like, Alex, he gives me a hug. I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And I'm so shook that like, and this is so bad. Like in real time, it felt like a year, but in real time, it was probably like a 5-second pause where I was like, what? Like what? Wait, what do you? I was like speechless. I was so shook.
Yeah.
And she literally just puts her hand on my shoulder. She goes, it's going to be okay.
Oh, damn.
I was so like clearly just like still hurting over this breakup or whatever.
Yeah.
And this roommate was just like could just see that I was like out of sorts. I was not ready for that. So and then I had a mid set too, and that really sucked ass.
Dude. Yeah, when you need to have a good one, wait, you saw her before or after you got off stage?
Before.
Yeah, that's no good.
Hurt big time. But just the roommate.
Yeah.
Just like there's no like, I had no composure.
Sure.
I had absolutely no composure. It was brutal.
Were you like nervous that she was there, the ex? Like when you see roommate, you assume if there's smoke, there's fire,
I think I did ask. I think after the it's gonna be okay. I was like, she's not. She's like, no.
Okay.
No, she's not. I was like, dude, I was fucking bummed.
Yeah, dude.
We'll get back to. I have a couple things about your upbringing that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
A couple other things about you, but small town kid.
Oh yeah.
You're from
Very
a town
small.
of what? 300 people? Something crazy? Like
about
500?
1,200. Yeah.
1,200 people.
Pretty small.
I know, Connor. Isn't that crazy? 1,200.
Very small.
Very small.
Very fucking small. So here's the thing. What do people get wrong about small towns?
Ooh.
What do people get wrong about small towns? And what do small towns have that people may not know that is actually a little bit better than you'd anticipate? What's the real allure of a small town? What's the beauty of a small town?
Well, I mean, I think the beauty and the allure, I suppose, is like community.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think that a lot of smaller towns are like Republican conservatives because it's not necessarily like a wealth aspect. Like maybe they're like my taxes, don't whatever, but it's like they're not rich. A lot of them.
Yeah.
It's because it's like, oh no, I see the people around me, and I know what they like need, and like I feel like there's like a small. It's like liberals. I feel like try to think about everybody.
Sure.
And conservative, it's more like I don't know, tight knit or like thinking of immediately what's around you. So I mean. Yeah, I think that's a positive.
Wait, so you're saying
like
that you're saying that they small towns have Republicans they're Republicans for a reason, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like I don't necessarily like agree with their politics, especially when it comes to like a national or like a global scale. But when it comes to like their day to day, I'm like I understand why you might vote certain ways to the things that affect you. When it comes to like. Whose bathroom, whatever person's using. I'm like, you're never going to meet those people. Shut up. You shouldn't get an opinion on it.
Right.
But like, yeah, laws that are govern Chicago probably don't affect you the same way because it's like a smaller town. Like, so I understand like whatever.
Okay.
But
That's
yeah,
fair.
in like there is like I always like if I don't live in a city, like a smaller town, I feel like would be preferred. Like city or small town. Like, cause there is still like, there's like a culture there, I guess.
Oh.
It's not always like the best culture, but there is like a town has a vibe.
A small town has a vibe, whereas like a suburb has like the Applebee's.
Right.
And a small town has like more mom and pop.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, it is funny like what becomes cool in my town. Cause it's like now that, I don't know. I mean, we had the internet growing up, but not in the same. And it wasn't the same internet that we have now, where like everything's passed along.
Yeah.
So my parents will find out about like cool things.
Yeah.
But it is like if you bought me a pair of shoes of a cool brand that you're just finding out about, it stopped being cool 3 years ago.
Yeah. It's crazy how that's still true. Like even even in middle America, the fashion just for some reason comes a little.
But
later.
then I'm like, they're actually now with the workwear trend, they're like weirdly ahead. I'm like, I'm telling people when I go home, I'm like, that beat up Carhartt jacket that you're about to throw away, sell that on eBay for $350. Like,
oh yeah.
Like they would just toss that in the garbage. But I was like, yo, some twink at Coachella needs that thing.
Derek Stroop is a comic here. He's got a great Carhartt joke. A lot of those Southern guys have Carhartt jokes about Carhartt used to mean you get doing this buckle dance, wake up at 5 a.m. Blah, 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 blah. And like it's good. That's not the joke.
Well, I say that now the Civil War that we're gonna have is gonna be really confusing because it's like who's who.
That's great.
They're all dressing the same.
That's really really good.
I'm like she's got nipple piercings. Let's get her back. Come on.
Dude, yeah, I got some other questions here. You are a cinephile.
Yes.
A self-proclaimed cinephile, also probably a validated cinephile. You've seen every fucking movie.
I've seen a lot.
Movies. However, you really champion the Fast and the Furious franchise, which I don't think many cinephiles would.
See, I'm poly. I'm a poly cinephile.
Can you defend? Most people would probably think of the Fast and the Furious franchise as kind of like, what is it like? Like it's just kind of straight. Right down the middle, kind of like sugar for your brain.
Yeah, and that's what I'm in for.
Oh,
well, for that, yeah. I reject this idea that you have to be like art house indie films or nothing.
Okay, yeah.
Like I'll go see the new Fast and Furious, and then I'll also go see like Hiroshima Mon Amour.
Sure.
Like and I think you can enjoy both. But also, like I don't think that the Fast and Furious movies are like the new ones are like good.
Yeah.
But it does. This has become. This is how I sum it up now with movies. The thing I like the most is when it feels like they did exactly what they meant to do, what they wanted to do. Where it's like even if it's not for me, I'm like you had a vision, even if it's insane or like stupid. You made a plan, you did it. Like that's cool.
You like for the Fast and Furious movies, you like that they made a movie. I'm trying to like,
yes,
sorry, Connor,
yes,
am I off
100%.
here on this?
Well, no, but there are some movies that are like, it's not trying. Well, I guess when Paul Walker died, I do feel like when Paul Walker died, it lost like the one little bit of groundedness that it had. And now that like Vin Diesel has the wheel, it's like, it is insane.
Yeah.
But I kind of love it for that. And like I like going to
you're saying that they're doing the job.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, like last time I saw the newest one in the theater, like there were such cheesy parts, but like the theater would start clapping and like laugh. And it's like, oh, we're all in on the joke. Like none of us think that this is like top tier, incredible cinema, but it is like entertaining. Like people ask me like, was it good? I was like, not really, but did I have an awesome time? Absolutely.
Oh,
like I don't think something has to be good to be like so fun. That's like music too. Like pop music is fun to listen to a lot of times. It might not be good.
There are some. I'm trying to, like it is. That is an interesting point. Well, some people say like, yeah, I mean, like I don't think like Katy Perry was ever like speaking to anybody,
right? Yeah,
but also
except
like,
for when she kissed a girl and she liked it.
That was a big movement. She started being a lesbian.
She really did.
Created it.
Yeah, dude. Ellen was like, wait, that's what you call it? God damn, dude, that's how Ellen talked. Oh shit.
But yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy. I guess as long as people are in on it, that's probably like maybe like a hair metal thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Like there's some great, like Europe is like, I mean, this is a real pluck. Like not many people know this, but like Europe's like a great like kind of arena rock band from like the 80s and 90s that is just like, they kind of get the job done. They can play their ass off, and everyone, I guess all kinds of media needs what musical artists would you give the Fast and the Furious franchise a comparison to?
Ooh, that's
are
tough.
they like fucking, Linkin Park? Are they like
Poison or somebody?
Oh, okay.
Maybe where it's like started off like the very first one was like a really good just like
action movie.
Yeah, it was like Speed, or like it was Point Break with cars. That was almost the exact.
Yeah.
And it was the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They were stealing. One of my favorite things about Fast and Furious 2 is how far they've come. and like from the original, they were just like 22-year-olds stealing DVD players, and now they're the top secret agents in the whole world that the government calls when they can't do something.
Oh wow.
And they're
yeah.
going to space and shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's so funny. Like
Sure.
and it's like, yeah, it's like I'm not expecting The Godfather.
Right.
Also, I don't want The Godfather every night.
You're actually a great guy to ask. I've asked this on the pod before. Third date with a girl. She wants to come over to your place. You say, "Hey, I'm going to make dinner and we'll watch a movie."
Ooh.
What movie are you picking?
Ooh.
I think I like relegated, or I resolved to like a Wes Anderson.
That's
maybe
okay.
Life Aquatic. I think it's right down the pipe. It's like indie enough or like cool enough. Not quite like, it's not too sexy, but there's romance.
Sure.
It's kind of like it's kind of like watching a play in a way. It's a little more sanitary, I guess, in that sense. What's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, it's like it's
third date, so like maybe haven't hooked up yet, or is this like a movie that we're gonna start fingering each other during the film?
let's say you made out on the second date.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, how about this?
Made out first.
No. You hooked up. No, you fucked on the second date.
Okay.
Now the third date is like, I'm gonna come over. We're really gonna like feel this out. Like we're really gonna spend some time together.
Yeah. I don't know. That would probably be case by case, because it was like I'm dating someone now, and she's great. She's younger than me. She's like 24.
It does matter. It does matter who you're with.
Well, yeah, because one thing that's fun is that she hasn't seen a lot of like 90s comedies. So like I get
this girl's a toddler.
Yeah. She's my high school sweetheart.
It's a child.
She's 16.
yeah.
That's what I call her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you meet at school? Sure, sort of. No, she's like 24. But so she hadn't like, unless someone had like an older brother, probably, that like, that's how I had to see Ace Ventura, because like someone's older brother showed me. So it's like, oh, Dumb and Dumber, she hadn't seen. So we like watched that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it might be something like that, like a comedy, like a super
Dumb and
Bad or
Dumber would be
something.
sick.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber's great.
That's kind of a great call.
Yeah, it would probably be a Dumb and Dumber.
Take
like,
note, folks. Dumb and Dumber's great.
And like, there's nothing really in Dumb and Dumber specifically too that's like that aged that poorly.
Sure.
Like there's the scene in Ace Ventura. I mean, the whole denouement of, Pet Detective is that Finkel is Einhorn.
Right.
And
that reveals crazy. Yeah.
Depending on who the date's with, it's like
sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Dumb and Dumber, maybe Superbad or some shit.
Superbad's not bad. How about this? Now from the more critical side of your brain, what's the best movie that everyone thinks sucks?
Ooh, best movie that everyone. The Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy.
In recent times.
Sorry. Yeah, this is the.
This is a newer movie, and like
you would. So everyone thinks this movie sucks.
I don't think everyone thinks it sucks, but I have had multiple conversations with people, mainly comedian dudes who like movies, but then said that they thought it was stupid, and then after talking to me, they're like, "I see what you mean," and it's just like it's once again, it's like, is it the most incredible like cinematic piece? No, but like it was. They did exactly what they wanted to do. They did all these real stunts. It's very charming, attractive actors like working together. The action's cool. It's fun. It's funny. It's just like all these pieces to make like a great action comedy. Yeah. I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay. All right. Well, check that out, folks. That'll be good. Let's move on to another question here. Eric, where's the clit? Okay, no, we're gonna just keep it moving here. Do you got
moves around?
Do you have any irrational phobias?
Ooh, I mean, I do have like I don't know if it's a phobia, but if people are talking at the movies, I freak out. Like my heart starts like pounding in my chest.
Not quite a phobia, but either
like
way,
a trigger.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, phobia being like a fear sort of thing.
Yeah, what are you afraid of, big dog?
I don't know.
How about this?
Being a bad son? Is that a phobia?
Being a bad son. Let's close out with this. You are a known, well-dressed man.
Yeah,
you know how to dress hip. How about this? Give our advice for our lonely male listeners. First date fit.
Ooh.
You're just getting drinks at a cocktail place, or you're getting drinks at a business casual or a decently casual cocktail bar.
I would usually go. I mean, I guess it depends on the weather.
Sure,
but I mean,
spring weather.
Spring weather.
Next couple of weeks.
I like a layer. So like maybe like a light jacket or like a jacket shirt, something like that.
Denim, yeah.
Yeah, if it's a little cooler, like a light sweater.
Light sweater. What kind of jeans or pants we talking?
I mean, the pants stuff changes so quick now. I mean, I might have been wearing skinnies when I met the girl I'm dating, and now skinnies are out. Can't be caught dead in skinnies.
Everything's out.
Everything's loose. I still got them on under these just to feel safe.
Just for the right. Yeah. In case you meet, when you're around your millennial friends. Yeah.
Dude, I actually made. I like to make a lot of stuff. I'm really running from something.
We're gonna talk about that in the Patreon.
But I made tearaway jeans.
No,
that was like a day of my life that I spent like making button tearaway jeans, like
just to fuck around and make something.
Yeah, to maybe have them on at some point when my friends don't know and pop them off.
You know what, folks? I honestly think that's a great.
It's a life well spent.
That's a great way to go into the Patreon. Eric, that is so fucking funny. The guy can make a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk about. Eric has like a lot. You've done a lot of odd jobs. We're gonna get into that on the Patreon, plus more. Guys, we always talk shit. We always get a little juicy. Please subscribe to the Patreon. Eric, where can people find you?
Ooh, Erik Scott Comedy on all platforms, Eric with a K. And I got a podcast too called Whoa, That's Sick with comedian Mark Little.
I should have plugged that earlier. I apologize.
No, it's all good.
I apologize.
We're on a little hiatus right now, but hopefully we get it back going soon. So
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. He's one of the greats, guys. Please give him a follow. Please check him out. This has been episode what, Connor? 178?
I think it's 168.
168.
There we go.
Of the You're an Idiot podcast. You've been an idiot for listening. Good night and good luck.